This episode of Profiles in Risk is sponsored by Zywave. Insurers, brokers, and agencies are facing escalating risk and rising complexity. Only Zywave delivers a performance multiplier, equipping you with the tools to get risk right, unlock efficiency, and scale at new speeds. Find out more at 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝘀.com.
Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Kayna, just back home from ITC. And today I have with me Paul Prendergast, returning guest after about 3 years. So Paul originally came on the show to talk about his first company, Blink Parametric, and it's now back having founded a new company, Kayna. That's Kayna with a K, K-A-Y-N-A. So Paul, thank you for joining me today. How's it going?
Oh, great. Great to be back, Tony.
Awesome. So you're in Ireland, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Were you out at ITC last week, earlier this week?
No, I wasn't. No, I usually go, but I was busy doing other stuff here in Europe.
All right. I did run into the Blink people, and when I asked about you, they're like, "Oh, he started a new company. Send him a message." So thank you for replying so quickly. Yeah.
Okay.
They appear to still like you.
No, they're great people. It's great. It's gone strength to strength, and they have a huge team here now. It's going great. So Sid and the team, I know a lot of the guys still there. So it's great to see it going so well.
Fantastic. So at Blink, you guys were building parametric, right? Make it easy to create parametric products. So what is Kayna?
Sure. So we make it easy for vertical SaaS platforms to do embedded insurance. It's a similar model. We're that technology enabling layer between vertical SaaS platforms and primarily incumbent insurers and brokers. So that's our job. When we were in Blink, we built some small business parametric products. Actually built one with 𝗲𝗍 in the UK for the US market, a non-damage BI product. And that was our first entree into the whole world of small business insurance. And we were really interested in how we could make that a little bit better. Myself and my co-founder, Peter, stayed with Blink 4 years after it got acquired. And we said we'd go again, foolishly. And so we're having great fun, and we've raised a bit of money. We've just announced a couple of big partnerships, and but it's all about the vertical SaaS platforms and getting really interesting data from those guys, bringing it into the insurance ecosystem. So it's really, really exciting. It's a pretty cool stage of the business right now.
Okay, so vertical SaaS platforms.
Yeah.
In my mind, so we're talking things like I'm blanking out. So
Sure.
What is an example?
Like if you're running a restaurant and you've got a software platform that helps you, book in guests, manage staff, manage your finances, manage your inventory, get payments, manage HR, marketing, it's your operating system. So what's happened over the last 7, 8 years, small businesses used to use 6 or 7 bits of software to run their business, which weren't joined up. And now you've got a whole bunch of entrepreneurs who started really interesting companies to solve, to be that one operating system for that very narrow niche. Now, whether that is Toast for restaurants, Service Titan for field services, Clio for legal, there are thousands of these vertical SaaS platforms. So why we like it? Unique data, great community of like-minded customers, if you like. And a lot of these vertical SaaS entrepreneurs, they are making more money out of embedded fintech today, processing payments, doing lending, etc., than they are out of selling software. So moving to embedded insurance is not a huge jump for them. So really, really interesting space. And probably one of my favorite stories about vertical SaaS, and people kind of think, oh, these are mom and pop little software companies with a couple of customers. There's a company called Tribute, who are a vertical SaaS for undertakers in the US, and they were sold for $2 billion 2 years ago. It just gives you the scale. So why would you know about it? It'd be odd if you did, but everybody in that industry knows those folks, and everybody in legal knows Clio, restaurants, you name it. And it's fascinating. A lot of VC money going into vertical SaaS. Um, so they're the exact opposite to transactional relationships. They want to keep their customers forever and ever and ever. Um, so they've been a little slow to get into embedded insurance. A couple of reasons for that, I can get into that later. But yeah, it's super interesting. Uh, and the States is a couple of years ahead of Europe in that front. So we'll be spending quite a bit of time in the US.
Okay, so embedded insurance basically during the process of buying whatever you're buying through the platform, it offers you insurance in a very in a very easy and seamless in a very seamless way.
It's to be honest, our job is to get the data from the vertical SaaS platforms into the ecosystem. And we've found we're working on one program right now, and we're taking the application process from 30 pages down to effectively two, because all the data is on the platform already. So we're bringing all that data in. So we're the data tech folks. We bring all that data in, and you get so much data is on those platforms. You can provide an indicative quote to that small business customer that's very, very accurate. Of course, you'll have to pick up a couple of other data points along the way. We do that, but the size of the company, the name of the company, where they're located, the staffing, the revenue figures, their inventory. It's phenomenal what's right there, and so that means that we can enable our insurance partners to provide an indicative quote. So much simpler application process. So high level for our insurance partners, they see this as blue sky distribution, getting to a tough space, and we can see why it's a tough space because brokers, and we work with brokers all the time. We love brokers. We're not in the insurtech camp saying brokers are going away. The exact opposite. So brokers don't get paid enough money when they're selling small commercial policies to sit down with that restaurant in Chicago and really get into the nitty gritty. They're making whatever, $400 or $500, whatever that may be. It has to be transactional in nature, and they have to move on to the next one. And therefore, the underwriter at the back end is kind of in a bit of a data dark room. They kind of know who they're insuring, but not really. So then you have to build a one size fits all to manage your risk at the back end. But then the outcome for the consumer or the small business isn't wonderful. There's no malice in the insurance industry. It's just the way it's structured, and it's really about the data. So that's what we're here to help improve. It's to make all the small business will be happier. The vertical SaaS is delighted to solve another problem and make a little bit of money. The brokers, and we work with brokers in this channel, and they're delighted to be able to serve their customers better and a more data-driven way. And underwriters are going, I can't believe I can get access to all this data that I can trust in real time. And it's not coming in spreadsheets that I have to spend all this money manually doing it. It's through using tech and APIs and stuff.
Okay, so for the carriers, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's a more flow of business and better data.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
What about for the brokers?
Yeah, so super interesting. We spent quite a while working out what exactly is the right way to do it. And so we've just announced this major partnership with Willis Towers Watson, global partnership focused on the US and the UK. So that literally is only announced about 4 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
So as one of the biggest brokers out there, their affinity team and us are working very closely together. The reason why we think broker channel is going to work really well in this space is um, number one, we all know carriers like certain types of risks. So if you're a vertical SaaS and you've got lots of types of customers, you want a partner that will ensure that when you offer insurance, all your customers can be catered for. Certain carriers might like 30-40% of the risk, but they won't like the rest. So the brokers can put together a solution that covers all the customers. And then we also know that carriers over a long period of time, their appetite for types of risks will change. So if you do a deal just with one carrier, and it could work, year two, that carrier might say, this is not for us anymore. And then you have to start again. Whereas that's the broker's job. So the feedback that's from lots of discussion with vertical SaaS. They want market choice. They like offering their customers lots of different carriers so they can go, yeah, this is a good price point. This is good coverage. We're just about to launch an interesting program in the US in the next week, and we're engaged with Willis Towers Watson, and we've got 3 carriers. It's a cyber scheme. So the customers are then going, great, that's a really good feel for the market, and I'll go with this one or that one. So that's why we think, in some cases, the carrier is the right solution. In a lot of cases, we think the brokers are going to play a really important role.
Are you basically designing a custom program for each new vertical SaaS?
No, God, no. That I have enough gray hair without trying to do that, Tony. So we know we shouldn't have to become experts in any insurance line of business. That's why we like working with the really solid people who've done this business for decades, and that's what we're doing with this program going live in the next week. So they're experts in cyber. They've been doing it for a long time. They've paid out all the claims. They know the limits, the terms, etc. So that's what we do. So our job is to make the technology flow between all parties. Like we're working across, at the moment, we're probably working on, a whole bunch, 6 or 7 different industry types at the moment. We could not do that if we decided to become the experts on, I don't know, hairdressing insurance. We'd have to become a licensed entity. We'd have to become super expert at that. That'd take us years. Whereas vertical SaaS is so wide, we decided to be insurance line agnostic. So our job is purely the technology. We go to the vertical SaaS, we bring those folks in, and then we work with the appropriate insurance partner. But the actual creating the product, the insurance product, we leave that to the experts who've been at it for decades.
All right. So it sounds like you have found a very warm reception in the market.
Yeah, it's taken quite a while. We all know, we all love this industry, but it's not the fastest moving. But yeah, it's been really good. It's been really, really good. We're thrilled with the Willis Towers Watson. We've got a number of other partnerships as well. And now it's really going to market. We've got a whole bunch of vertical SaaSes that we're lining up for deployment at the moment. A lot of them are going, we've been looking for this for quite a while. You know, like they don't want to spend a year integrating with an incumbent. They want, give me an API, give me a widget, let's get going. I want to start going tomorrow. So that's what we enable that to do. So, on both sides, it's been great. It's taken quite a while to put all the jigsaw pieces together, like any insurance solution, but that's in place now, and we're really looking forward to the next 12 months and getting lots of programs live. So yeah, reaction has been very, very warm.
What is that revenue model? So like who in the chain pays for it?
Yeah, so the insurers pay us. I mean, insurers are well used to paying for distribution, and whether it's the insurer or we share with the broker. So we're not a consulting company. We get paid on success. That's the way it works. So when our partners make money, we make money, and everybody's happy.
Okay, and it sounds like implementation is very streamlined.
Yeah, that is the secret sauce. I mean, if we had to have, huge deployment effort for each one, it would not be scalable. So Peter Birmingham, my co-founder, we've worked together almost 20 years, and he's an incredible CTO. And so the way we built our technology is that it's very simple at the front end, to get things integrated. So for us, we're integrated with Willis Towers Watson at the back end. That takes a bit of time, and then it's a one-to-many for them. So then we work with the relevant vertical SaaS, and it's a good program can integrate in less than 24 hours, and that's the way it's built.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So you've been building this for, looks like, almost 3 years.
Yeah, a couple of years. Yeah.
Are there any features coming down the development pipeline that you're excited about that you can already talk about?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's so much to be done. So there's two phases of this business, I think, and the first phase is it's all about distribution. It's all about bringing interesting data into the insurance ecosystem, making the application process much simpler. I think the other really interesting one is we're trying to solve underinsurance. And in the small business space, over 50% of small businesses are dramatically underinsured because the application process can be rushed, and is the data real, or are they just putting that data in to get a cheaper price, etc. But when they come to make a claim, the frightening term we hear all the time is unknowingly underinsured. So they go, "What do you mean I don't have the proper insurance?" They go, and when they go and make a claim, so when, let's assume somebody has the right insurance on January 1. You're running a restaurant, you assume that you're going to turn $10 million, you're going to have 40 staff, but things for whatever reason go gangbusters, and your revenue increases by 50% as well as your staffing increases by 60%. Nobody tells the broker. You're too busy running around, but you're massively underinsured. Now, because of our integration with the vertical SaaS, we'll know exactly where your business is going. So then we can tell, in this case, say the broker, you need to contact this small business owner and tell them they're outside the guardrails of their insurance policy and they're dramatically underinsured. So the technology can do that. So from a small business person's point of view, buying your insurance like this, you will know then that the vertical SaaS and the broker together are providing real-time risk management to you as a small business, without the massive overheads of being a huge company, where they usually provide those types of services. That's super important.
It's fantastic.
I think then the next phase in time, the data on these vertical SaaS platforms, you might get 50 data points through your traditional broker channel as an underwriter. There are thousands of data points on these vertical SaaS platforms. Which ones are relevant? Nobody knows today, but we will as we go through the cycle and the claim cycle. So we think it's going to be very, very interesting building new risk models in a couple of years' time as we get the distribution going. So the distribution piece is super important right now, and then it's going to be using data to completely change how people price risk, segment, etc. Those small business spaces, because at the moment it's nigh on impossible. So that's what this will allow in time.
So as a former underwriter, that is really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Historically, especially in small business, it's a very few factors that we use to underwrite it. But by plugging into the platform that you run your business with, now we have the data to over time figure out which characteristics we had no idea were predictive.
And a lot of cases when you try to get people to fill out forms, they're filling it out for insurance purposes, and and the underwriter, we know they're going, do I really believe this? I kind of do, but like we're working a program now and it's really interesting. All the health and safety records are available on the platform so the underwriter can't, they're really interesting data so they can segment the market and really understand. And really what you find is it's probably the opposite to selection risk. The people who use these platforms and are ahead of the game tend to be better risks because they're more modern organizations. They're not using pen and quill to run their business. They're using the most modern software they can find. They're happy to share the safety stuff. So it's a really interesting opportunity for underwriters to get in early. Look, this is and like when you look at the vertical SaaS space, I would say if 1% of vertical SaaS platforms have embedded insurance, it's a lot today. And there's really strong reasons for that. In 3 years' time, this won't be the case. Hopefully, in another 3 years, we get to talk. It's taking off now, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. And hopefully, in 3 years' time, I'll be able to talk to you about building those new risk models and the underwriters, which are the real, super important engine of the insurance world, are going, this is a game changer for us. We're able to, but we don't want to go in and say, hey, we're here to save the day with data. Like a lot of people say, we want to get the distribution, and then we want to prove that the data makes a difference, and then I think it'll start feeding into the risks and the underwriting, etc.
Very, very, very interesting. Very interesting stuff. Very, very cool. And yeah, I look forward to having you back once
If
you're deep into that second stage.
yes,
I would have never thought that of that second part, but it makes so much sense. Very, very, very exciting. And yeah, it's not every day that we get entire new, let's call them verified data sets about
it's verified.
our
Yeah,
businesses or our insured businesses.
yeah, and the underwriters, look, they've got a tough job to do. The other piece of the puzzle is for brokers, a lot of brokers, and everybody's talking about AI, etc. How can they use technology to serve their customers better? And a lot of our broker partners say, look, it's tough. You've got, I don't know, 50,000 small business customers. Which ones do I need to spend time with? I can ring them all and see how's business. Or with this solution, if you're selling through vertical SaaS platforms in an embedded nature, you know exactly which businesses have changed. So it could be 5, 10% of those businesses have changed fundamentally: staffing, revenue, number of outlets, type of business coming in, and you can get your brokers to work with them in a proactive nature, as opposed to sending out letters and kind of saying, well, tell us if anything. No, much more. It allows brokers and carriers to focus on the businesses that are changing and need risk management advice in a focused way. So there's lots of different value adds across the way, for different people in the value chain. So yeah, very exciting for us and for all our partners.
Fantastic. And at this point, you're working with platforms in both Europe and the US.
Yes, US is incredibly important for us. Vertical SaaS is definitely well ahead of Europe. Europe is catching up, but it's well ahead. There's some fantastic communities, vertical SaaS folks in the US that we're working with. But yeah, really exciting. So as I mentioned, we're getting our first program live in about a week, and we'll be able to share that with you in about a week or two. So that's really exciting. We have a whole bunch of others lining up as well behind that.
Excellent. Paul, thank you so much for your time. Very, very interesting
Yeah.
stuff, an area of insurance that I had not spent a lot of time talking about.
Yeah.
Looking forward to see how it grows and how it moves into the second stage where we can actually not only distribute it better, but underwrite it better.
Exactly. That's the holy grail. Thanks a million,
Awesome.
Tony. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for your time. Have a great one.
You too.